So you've just got your Z Fold 8 and you want to know the 10 things that you should do first. Well, here they are. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. I'm going to take you through a list of 10 things that I think you need to do first with your Z Fold 8. And it's not all your stuff like switching your phones and optimizing your home screen. I mean, it is a little bit of that. It's not like accounts and display settings. It's stuff that actually relates to the form factor of the Galaxy Z Fold 8. First one we're going to do is we're going to open the phone up. We're going to go into the settings and we're going to go into advanced features. Inside of here, there's a setting inside labs that we're going to play around with. So we're going to labs and we've got landscape view for portrait apps. Let's go in here. The way this feature works, it forces apps that normally only support portrait view to display in landscape view when your phone is being held horizontally. So some apps, when you're holding it in horizontal, which is the Fold 8's main aspect ratio, won't actually support this. They'll automatically rotate into portrait and then you won't be able to use it. An example of this in action is the Dominoes app. So here you can see it's turned off. If I go into Dominoes, you'll see it launches it into portrait because it's the natural orientation. So if I go back into the settings and I turn this on and then I go back and launch Dominoes, it now will launch it in the landscape view, meaning you can take advantage of the natural orientation of this form factor. So what you should do is you go back into here and any app that's not supporting it, you toggle it on so it makes sure it supports this aspect. Next one, let's get out of here and go back on the home screen. You'll see in my home dock area down the bottom that I've got 4 apps separated by a divider in this home dock. How have I got that? Well, with One UI 9, Samsung have allowed for this area here to include recent apps. So if I go into the home screen settings and I go into where it says here, recent or suggested apps, and click on that, there are 2 options. You've got show or hide. And what will happen if you hide it? Well, they just get hidden. But if you want them there, and even if there's no apps that are recent, it will suggest apps to work down there. You can have 2 apps, 3 apps, or 4 apps. And then every time you're on that home screen, you'll see your recent 4 apps there, or if you haven't got 4 apps. So if I close them all, it'll just suggest apps to launch next. Convenient. And this area is important because whenever you go into an app, that becomes your taskbar. So let's go into the settings and let's go into display where the taskbar settings live, and we'll see where it says taskbar. Now, if it's not on, you can see the little toggle there to turn it on, but you can also customize how the taskbar works. So similar to the home screen, you can have recent or suggested apps in the taskbar. You don't have to though. So you can have 2, 3, or 4. So you can see how it impacts it. If you got each one, you can see 2 and then they're 4. And you've also got the taskbar style. So the taskbar can either be auto hide when apps are opened, like right now you can't see it, and then you have to swipe up to bring it up, or you've got stay on screen, where it will actually appear in the bottom there permanently anytime an app is opened. So if I launch the gallery, for example, there's the taskbar. The beauty of this too is it just makes it easier to switch between apps a lot quicker, and you don't have to always drag it up. And you've also got your app drawer there that you can access a lot quicker as well, if you want to. Sticking with the home screen, we're going to go into this area here, where you'll notice the search bar and the finder. Now, this is permanently here, but how has that happened? Let's go back into the settings of the home screen, and what you'll find here is show search on home screen as a menu item. When you click on that, you'll see that you can toggle on both the search and the finder. So Google search being the default one, and then finder being Samsung's finder for apps on your phone. You can toggle them on and then they live there, and then you can hit search or you can hit finder, but you also don't have to have them there. So if I go back to settings and I go back to here, I can turn them off and you'll see it just gets replaced with your home screen indicator as opposed to the search and the finder. So if you want to turn them on, you got the settings here and you've got the 2 toggles that you can activate. You can have one, both, or neither. Next, we're going to go into some Galaxy AI features and ones that I think you should turn on. If I go into the settings and we go into Galaxy AI, what you'll find here, there's a new one inside Call Assist called Call Brief. Now, what this one will do, if you turn it on, is it will show events and other information on the call screen when it's relevant to your call. So you've got some other stuff there that it lets you know you need to have turned on. Most of that is turned on by default, but if you follow those prompts, if they're not on, it'll turn them on. And then the whole purpose of this is every time you get a phone call, it'll sort of listen for that phone call, what's happening, and then give you the relevant information based off your calendar, gallery, messages, all sorts of stuff that relates to what's being said on the call. Great idea, great concept. Turn it on if you want to use it. Sticking with Galaxy AI, so going back and back into the main menu, there's another new thing inside the Now Brief here. So the Now Brief's a great little Galaxy AI feature that got introduced, where it will actually give you a personalized briefing throughout your day and suggest content based off the time of day. So it's very contextual and understands you based off the information that you've fed it on your phone. But you can see in the content to include, there's lots of toggles for things that Samsung have told you are important, but it might not necessarily be this stuff that's relevant to you. So there's a new section here called custom cards. So you can actually create a custom card to show up in your Now Brief. Let's show you how to activate it. So I've already created one, come back to those. If I hit the plus icon here, that's a good highlight. You can only have 3. So let's remove one, delete. Now let's hit the plus icon. You can see there's 3 main categories for now for your custom cards. You've got weather, you've got health, and you've got videos. I want to show you the health one because I've already created the other ones in other videos. So let's go to health, and you can see in here, you've got categories. So you can have your energy score, you can have your running this week, and then you can have your nutrition info. So you can create those and hit next. Or if you don't want any of them, you can actually write it down as a prompt. So it can be show me my sleep and energy scores and then hit next. And then you actually then get to choose when that appears. So do you want the card to show every day at 6 a.m.? Seems out sleep and energy, maybe 9 a.m. is going to be a good one. And then you hit generate. And then it's going to read the prompt. It's going to validate it, go through the whole process of creating it. And then at the end of it, after the layout's been created and the design's been finalized, it's going to give you an example of what that card will look like. There you go. So in one card, you've got a daily health summary with sleep score and energy score combined into one. When you hit done, it then takes you to the Now Brief to show you how it will appear in the Now Brief specifically. So obviously you can have sleep score separately. That's one that will automatically come up, but you can see that combined one there is actually kind of cool. And then you can see some of the other ones that I've created, the video recommendations card, where I actually wanted to have Lionel Messi videos appear in my feed. You can see it's got some sport and videos relating to football in that card there as well. Like I said, you can only have 3 that you create at once, and you can also go back in and customize the card that you have created. So if I want to customize my video recommendations one, I can go to edit, and then I can change the prompt, or I can delete it from there. That's custom cards. Next, we're going to go into the camera. And I think the thing with the camera that I want to show off is not necessarily settings within the camera, but there are some things I will show eventually. But it's the toggles you can enable to take advantage of the form factor. You can see one at action straight away. It's the capture view mode. So it's this little toggle up in the top corner here. When I don't have that on, you can see it's just a live preview of what's happening on your camera. But when I press it, it then activates and moves things across. So you've got your preview of whatever you're taking a photo of over here. And then on the left-hand side, you've got an option to see your shot straight away. So if you capture something, it appears in there, and then it keeps populating as you keep capturing. And you can scroll through back and forth between it. It's a much better review section than having to constantly press that and go back into it because it's live. And then you have the option to favorite it, share it, or delete it. It only works on this phone in landscape. If I rotate it into portrait, it disappears. It doesn't become an option. So with the Fold 8, you only get it in this way. But it's it takes advantage of the size and the aspect. One other thing with the camera, and this is a setting that I'll get you to turn on, is the 24 megapixel mode inside Camera Assistant. This just takes advantage of the dual 50 megapixel cameras that it has on the back here by allowing you to capture high resolution as a default. So if I go into the settings of the camera and I scroll down to where it says Camera Assistant, you might have to install it. So if it's not installed, you might need to install it, but there will be a little download icon there if it's not installed. I can press Camera Assistant. I can scroll down to where it says 24 megapixel resolution, click on that and turn both of those on and just leave it. Honestly, it will give you the best option and it'll give you the best version of your photo if you have both of these turned on. Then you go back into the camera, into the resolution section, select 24 megapixel, and then you don't have to change it anymore. It's done. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is we're going to jump out of this and we're actually going to close the phone because I'm going to talk about the cover screen and how you can optimize the space you get here. It's all to do with Home Up. So you can see I've got 6 apps down the bottom here. That's not the default. So by default, it's not going to be taking advantage of the width and the space that you've got. I would say this is probably too big. There's not a lot and take advantage of the space. So if I go into Home Up and I go into the cover screen grid, you can really maximize the space that you've got, both with the favorites count. I think 6 is the limit for the cover screen. And you can see immediately you get all of the room and the scaling is a lot better. You can fit more apps across on the screen, and it really takes advantage of that extra width that you get as opposed to trying to fill the display with big giant icons. It gives you the room to actually spread yourself out. And you can do that as well with the apps in the app drawer too. So if I go back into Home Up and I go into the apps list cover column, you can see you can extend that out too to really take advantage again of that width that you get and give you more in the space that you have on the front here. Of course, you can do the same thing on the inside. Before you can customize the inner display with Home Up, you have to turn off one other setting, and that's cover screen mirroring. So if I go to settings and I've got cover screen mirroring turned on, turn it off, because then you can set up the inner display and the cover screen independently of each other. So if I go back into Home Up now and I want to have the home screen grid of the inside display be seeing more, you can customize that and have things like the favorites have more down there, and I can drag stuff into there to really, again, take advantage of this extra width that this phone has got. So that is the Z Fold 8, and that is some of the things you should do with it now that you have it. Hit subscribe to SamMobile TV, coverage of this phone and Fold 8 Ultra and the Flip still to come and the watch, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.